What's up, guys? We are back with another Star Wars Black Series review, taking a look at the most recent Episode 9 figure to come out. We're taking a look, of course, at ZORII BLISS. This is one that I've actually really been looking forward to because, in general, I just like her design. She maybe wasn't used as well in the movie as I would have liked, but she still looks pretty cool, and one of those kind of characters that makes for maybe an interesting figure. So we've got her here in our standard Black Series packaging. Figure there in the window. You've got some artwork down there in the corner. She is number 103 in the line, and we have got a little write-up on the backside and more of that artwork. So let's do it. Let's pull her out and take a look. And here she is out of the package, our ZORII BLISS figure. This is one of the Episode 9 unique characters that I actually did really want to get in the line because, well, I kind of like the character. I like Carrie Russell, and I think the design for this figure, for this character, is pretty solid. She is very much a mysterious bounty hunter type of character, whether or not that's what she actually is. That's kind of the vibe that she gives off, and I think she looks pretty cool. So it kind of translates into a pretty interesting figure. There is some kind of wonky stuff going on here, but she's pretty solid. So let's see what she can do as far as moving around. You've got your normal give and take when it comes to a female Black Series figure. But to start with, we've got really fantastic head movement. So the head and the neck are independently articulated, as we've been seeing on a lot of new figures. So she can look really far up. She can look down really far. Crazy amount of tilt on this one because the neck, of course, does move with the head, and then, of course, everything spins all the way around. The arms go out at the shoulder. They, of course, rotate. No bicep swivel because female figure, and then you've got a swiveling kind of 90-degree bend elbow. Well, a little bit more than 90, slightly higher than 90. You've got vertical hinges on those wrists and then rotation. And then you've got the torso cut, so she goes side to side, backwards, forwards, and then rotates. I wish she had the Jaina Solo design where she had the torso cut and the crunch because, I mean, that just works so well, and we've only seen that, twice, I think, in the line. You've got legs that go out. The holsters are attached to the thighs, but the belt is a floating piece. It's all one piece, but the belt floats. So it does move up a little bit as you do this, but they're going to kind of get in the way still. They only go out about that far. They kick forward all the way, but you still have to contend with the flexibility of the strap here. Nothing really on the backwards kick. She does have a thigh cut. You've got your double jointed knees, of course. There we go. And then you've got a boot cut up here, where the actual boot cut is, so it's hidden pretty well. And then you've got rocker, and then you've got hinges down at those ankles. So she is pretty standard for a female figure, but she has really fantastic head and neck articulation. The only thing that I really wish she had would be that ab crunch that we've seen with Jaina in the past, because it just kind of elevates the figure. But she does move around pretty decently overall. Now, in the looks department, I've already said that I kind of like this design. There's something about this look, this color scheme, and then especially her helmet that just really does it for me. It very much gives off a Star Wars vibe to me, and I think she looks really good. The coloring for her jumpsuit is really nice. It's basically all molded plastic. You're not really going to see a lot of paint there. You do have some brown paint on the straps that connect her holsters to the actual pants themselves. You've got the free-floating belt piece that does have a lot of sculpt on it. There's a little bit of paint. There's kind of like a goldy color in there almost. And then you've got a lot of paint on the bands for the armbands, and then for the gauntlets here, which do have kind of another layer. They're gold, but then they've also got weathering on top of them to make them look a little patinaed, a little old, and I think that works really well. It gives off that kind of Star Wars lived-in vibe. So she's not, clean and crisp. She definitely does have a little bit of wear and tear on her, especially on this big collar piece, which is sculpted nicely. There's a lot of good paint work there as far as that line work, and then the more kind of weathered look that they've given her as well to kind of tie into the dirtiness of these bands. The one area on this figure that I don't particularly like, and it's a design thing on the character itself, are these feet, because the feet are just so big. They do kind of get in the way at some points when you're posing her, and I think they just look goofy. She did have these really long-toed boots in the movie, so it's not like they did it by mistake or it's an error. It's how it's supposed to be, but I think it looks really weird. That's just my own personal pet peeve. I think the rest of the figure, though, does look really good. She just looks cool. That's really what it is. This character, this figure kind of exudes a cool factor for me, and I think Hasbro pulled it off really well. It definitely kind of shines through with the look, the feel, the color scheme, and then the kind of weathering that they gave the, I wouldn't really call it armor, but the gold accent pieces that she have. And then I do like the holsters, and she's got kind of like the reverse facing holsters, because the guns do actually go in, grip side out. So she's definitely unique. She looks really different. I only really wish that we had a more updated Poe Dameron to go with her. But the star of this release is the helmet, the head sculpt. If you want to call it a head sculpt, it's really mostly a helmet because, I mean, this is unique. This is incredibly different from a lot of stuff we see in Star Wars. It's just huge. It's almost like a big engine on the back of her head. There's some weird stuff going on here, but I really like it. It's very detailed. There is a ton of little sculpt work, of little greebling details in here. Dig the gold color scheme. There's a little bit of that kind of oily wash on it as well in certain areas, like these little accent marks here to make it look a little dirty, a little worn because, you know, she's kind of out in the thick of it. And I just like the design. It's really nicely done. I don't really have any nitpicks or any gripes on this one. It looks cool and it comes through really well in this figure. But the one thing that kind of sets it apart is something that we didn't know about when this figure was originally revealed, and they kind of showed it off later, was that the faceplate actually pops off. So you just kind of get it there on the side, and you can pop the faceplate off, that the black visor, and you can see inside, and you've got the actual exposed face for Zorii Bliss, Keri Russell. So you've got just the bridge of the nose, and then a little bit of the face, and then those eyes. You can't, I don't know if I can really tell that this is exactly Keri Russell or anything. It certainly looks like a female sculpt in there, but it looks good. Photo printing is on point, and it definitely looks like a human female. I don't know that I would ever display this figure this way, but I love the fact that they included it because, of course, it was one of the things for the character in the movie, so I'm glad it translated into figure form. Now, as far as accessories goes, Zorii has, well, I suppose the stuff that she could have. She's got her 2 guns. I don't think there's really anything else that she could have been given for this particular release. And these are unique sculpts. They're new. They do look really good. These are really fantastic guns. They're very unique. They have that kind of pirate look, almost flintlock pistol design, you know, kind of Corsair brigand type of look, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a little bit unique in the Star Wars universe. It's not a very common looking blaster design. There is a lot of sculpt, a lot of little intricate paint work. They're 2 guns, of course. There's nothing too crazy about them, but they are very unique to this character. They are different. They do stand out, and they look good. You pretty much get what you should get with this one. So yeah, overall, there's not a lot for me to really gripe about on this one. She's definitely a figure that I wanted to get ever since I originally saw her design. It's one of those characters from the sequel trilogy that stands out a little bit. She has kind of a cool factor, and I just wanted her in figure form. She, granted, doesn't do a great deal in the movie, but she still looks cool, and she'll go alongside some figures. You know, maybe throw her up against Constable Zuvio, or throw her with the Mandalorian. Even if you don't really care about putting her with Episode 9 specific characters, she'll fit in well with a bunch of other just kind of random space people on your Star Wars shelf, and that kind of works on its own. So yeah, she's a pretty cool figure. Good sculpt, good paint applications. The only thing that I really don't like are those kind of wonky, goofy boots that she wears, but that's not the figure's fault. The rest of it, though, just works for me. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Zorii Bliss figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.